You lot, raise your glasses. This one's for Paul, Phil, and the Paranormal Soul Brother! Paul's got a torch and a tradies belt. Swears that he felt a cold hand on his bum. Phil's in the kitchen with a GoPro helmet, shouting, "Come at me, spirit, you cowardly scum!" Soul Brothers burning the bargain bin sage, reading vibes like a busted old gauge. Ghost wankers, ghost wankers, three brave idiots and a busted van. Ghost wankers, chasing bad vibes round the caravan. If your house feels weird and your dog won't stay, they'll rock up drunk and scare it away. Ghost wankers, best worst hunters in the whole damn land. Oh, yeah.
This is Eddie Lengyel. Did I pronounce the last name?
You got it right. Hey,
All right,
bravo.
all right. He's a director, producer, actor, writer. He's doing everything. He wears all kinds of hats, okay? And he produces these cool ass horror movies. Oh yeah, I like that hat. He's done Mother Krampus 2, Sleigh Ride.
Wow.
He's done Hellweek. He's done Tweedledee, Tweedledum, and I'm pretty sure I saw that movie. The Melon Heads, House of Crow, I know I saw that movie. And because I was going to write an article about the Melon Heads. The Melon Heads, if you don't know, they're actually seen in Ohio, Michigan, and Connecticut. And supposedly they're like the Hills Have Eyes. They're feral humans with these huge heads that look like grays. They live in caves. In Ohio, there was a Dr. Crow who was experimenting on young children. They're also too associated with the Danbury Frog people, the Faceless people of Monroe, and the Mongoloid Village. And also, too, there's a horror movie that he's worked on. It's out there now. It's called The Curse of Lilith Ratchet. So, anyway, Eddie, how did you get into the movie business? What attracts you to horror movies, etc., etc.?
Oh boy, it's a long story. I'm going to give you the short version. When we were little, we used to make haunted houses. My best friend, he had a big yard, and we turned it into like a haunted house, and like it kind of caught on in the neighborhood. People like kind of started talking about it, and they would like we'd get lines on if we made money. We were like what, 12, 13. We were making like $400. This is back in the 80s, So, and he was a creepy dude. Was my best friend, and his mom always got him all like the cool monster stuff back then. They go down to Chagrin Falls, and there was a store called Taggart's, and he'd always get like the coolest, scary like movie stuff, like a Planet of the Apes and the little models you had to put together. He had it all. My mom, she wouldn't do that. No, Catholic. So I think it was just that hanging around that Dean kid. He's creepy, and it attracted me. I loved dark stuff as a kid. And it just kind of stayed with me over the years. And then I was like, one day we were watching a scary movie. My girlfriend, she's like, "Why?" I was telling her we used to mess around with 8mm, like Super 8mm. And we make these like scary movies just with the neighborhood kids. And everybody come down on a Friday night. We'd watch them. Everybody loved them. And then forgot about it. Became a DJ. And then my girlfriend's like, "Well, why don't you start making those horror movies again?" I'm like, "Really? I don't think I could do that." So we went and got Lloyd Kaufman's that book, Make Your Own Damn Movie. And I read the book, and I kind of did it. It just kind of happened. Like all the stars just kind of fell in place, and people wanted to be part of it, and it just happened. Like the first film, Hellweek, it ended up on Netflix. Like my first movie right out of the gate, we were on Netflix. And now I'm not flexing, but just like I could never get on Netflix now. It was much easier back then to get on Netflix back in 2010. Forget about it now. They never happened. But it was cool. We had the DVD rights on Netflix for Hellweek, and then they bought the streaming rights. So it was really fortunate set of circumstances in my favor. But the money's been getting harder though now to make because the DVD physical media, their demand's just not there. Walmart's no longer stocking DVDs unless it's just like big Hollywood titles. So that's been, that was a big avenue of revenue for us.
Eddie, have you ever thought about doing AI movies?
Not yet.
Okay. I mean, what do you think? Do you think that's a good thing?
I don't know much about that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just hearing about that now. I know there's like script writing software where they'll write the script for you,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not sure if I'm willing to let that happen just
Yeah,
yet.
yeah.
You can do it, but I would definitely do a couple rewrites.
Oh yeah.
Phil is pretty good with that. He's pretty good with that with the AI. But that, like I was telling them, tools come out every day. But there's one that came out today. I just sent a little memo out because it tickled me. Was they had a new software, and I won't advertise the name or anything, but they took a scene of Game of Thrones, which had millions of dollars of technology in it, at least $1 million, and they reproduced it for $6. Just a clip, a scene of it, and I just, I thought that was, I mean, it's kind of cheap, that they could do that. I don't know. It's got to be some kind of protection against that type of stuff because there's companies that have invested and don't realize the return is not going to come because you still have to develop this stuff. So if you get caught by something like that, you're just going to keep losing money. I mean, and but like that, Game of Thrones, you spend all that money on it, but I guess that's the way it's happening. What do you think of that?
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. I was messing around with the AI last night. I was getting pictures and putting it into Meta, and it says it can make a little video clip. It's taking still pictures and making it move and do weird stuff. Like, oh my gosh, it's crazy, right?
Oh yeah. Well, they said that they can take dead actors like Charlie Chaplin, Marilyn Monroe, John Wayne, and bring them back to life, where they're actually doing a 2-hour movie.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
I've seen clips like that already. Some of them are very impressive. They need a lot of footage, still shots from as many angles as possible in order to do it, but they can do it. I saw my father sent me one today that was a compilation of the best Western stars of all time. And the shot they had of Clint Eastwood and of John Wayne in particular were really impressive. By the time they got to Gary Cooper, it was terrible. And and Jimmy Stewart, for some reason, really looked terrible. So it really depends on, I think, how many source pictures they put in to the language model and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But
you bring up a good point. They said the video is the one thing about AI that's underperforming, and they don't figure out a new way to do it. Even though people know it's rising, so there's a ceiling on it right now. As far as if people are worried about it really taking over. The word out right now is that technology, as far as the video goes, it needs more work.
Well, the problem with movies, period, and I'm sure Eddie can attest to this, is that there's a lot of creative people in the world. There's not that many good people that are good at business and turning a dollar. So, and this is the question I would have, for Eddie is like, you just said that you had a problem with now that DVD sales are gone, the actual real physical media is gone. Have you thought about like pitching movies directly to Netflix or TUBI or any of these other, people that actually make their own content, things like that, in order to try to do things? Is that because really that's the only thing I see happening nowadays on the I don't want to call it lower budget or small budget, but I mean outside of Hollywood, really that and they're actually turning out a lot more than Hollywood now.
Yeah. That my friend does that, Jeff Miller. He's had a couple Tubi originals, where they fund you pretty nicely for that. I haven't done that
Wow.
yet, but yeah, that's something definitely to think about. Netflix, I don't know, they're so big, you know. It's funny because when I was with Netflix back in 2010, I would call the vice president. That's how small they were in 2010, where I could actually call like one of the, I don't know if he was a vice president, but he was higher up, right? His name was Michael. I can't remember his last name, but he's like, Eddie, we love you. Your movie's so bad, we can't keep it in stock because, because of Hellweek, it was so bad. People just wanted to see it, and it really wasn't that bad, but I guess, I mean, for the times it was, but it kind of has a cult following now. It's really weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. But he said, we would talk, and he's like, "Yeah, dude, we love your movie because we can't keep it in stock. It makes money." Hold on a
hey,
second. Get in.
okay.
The dog had a little restless dog here.
Oh, Eddie, Tim had something to say.
Oh, well, I was just curious, being the former TV guy and all. Your first movie, you said that you got the idea from Lloyd's book. Now, what kind of equipment did you use to make your first movie? I mean, what kind of cameras, editing system, things like that?
Yeah, we hired a guy named Bill Alexander, and he was shooting on the Panasonic. I think it was the AVX
Hmm.
200. Do you remember that one? It was just 2005.
Yep.
So
Oh,
yeah, something happened here. Hold on.
That's still kind of high end. That's definitely not like DSLR run and gun. Indie world.
No, it was a guy. Yeah, it was a nice camera. It was, and then he would connect the boom mic to the camera. We had a cord, and he would just put the boom mic in the corner, basically. Or sometimes I would be holding it on the actors, because we didn't
So
have
who
a
did
sound guy. It
who,
was
who
just
did
kind of
you?
like me and him doing it, and he had his company was called Traveling Lights, Tim. Traveling Lights Productions. But he had one light. And we would all joke, yeah, right, man? You need to change that to traveling light, brother, not traveling lights. You got one light, man.
So
No.
Well,
on
I
that,
mean, go
go
ahead,
ahead,
Phil.
Tim. I was just curious.
Well,
With one light, how long did it take him to actually light each scene?
Long, we're lucky that movie came out as good as it did. I don't know. I really don't know how that happened.
Yeah, yeah.
But well, it took 5 different editors. I went through 5 editors to finally get the cut that I liked. Because there was no storyboards, there was no shot list. It was me, with an idea. You know what I mean? And I knew the material better than anybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I didn't have anything else but what was in my head. So yeah, it was. There's something to be said for ambition and desire.
Eddie, do you know Howard Nash?
Name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he's an independent movie producer. He's done some movies with Ice-T. Um, this character right here, the legendary Dark Silhouette, was a comic book that I created. Howard Nash would send me $100 every single year to hold on to the rights of this character so he can make a movie out of it, and he never did. But I
Can
miss
I
so
see
much.
that? Can you hold it up so I can see it?
Oh, sure. Can you see it?
Yeah. What's on the head? I can't really see the head.
Oh, that's a huge
Hair.
cape. It's a huge cape.
It looks like hair.
Okay.
Yeah,
It's
but
attached to his
it's
head.
actually a cape, and he's gonna slap you, Phil. Boom. Okay.
A cape that's attached to his head. What is he, like, King Tut? Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. He's Egyptian, right?
No, he's not Egyptian. It's a long story, but anyway. But he's
You
not.
made that character? You made that
Yeah,
character?
yeah. I made several characters. But he's one of them. He's one of my. In fact, I have to show you this. Now that you're talking about this, this drawing is of my character shaking hands with Spider-Man. Marvel Comics actually published this in one of their magazines, officiating my character in the Marvel universe.
What?
Yep.
So what happened?
I don't know. I mean, I asked him, I said, you promised me that you're going to start making the movie this year, but you're not, and so, I was just asking him, and then he got kind of insulted. And then after that, I didn't hear from him anymore. I asked him if you wanted to be on this show. I asked him if you want to be on this show, and he just ghosted me.
Is that the same character of the toy that's behind you? Is it the same character?
Yeah, same one.
Okay. So he's like a super villain, right?
He's a superhero.
Oh, superhero. He's a good guy?
Huh?
He's a good guy or a bad guy?
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what do you call him?
The legendary Dark Silhouette. And the reason why he's legendary is because his future has already transpired, but he's living in the present. So it's kind of complicated.
Okay. Now, did you write a comic book of him?
Yeah, yes.
You did it? You did the comic?
One comic book. Yeah. It's the only comic book I ever published. All my other books are just about the paranormal.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys, a couple of you guys are paranormal. So did you guys ever see anything?
Oh, yeah. I've been on 2,500 investigations, and I've seen 4 full-body apparitions. Only 4 out of 2,500. So it's a rarity. But Zandine used to be in my club, HPI, Halo Paranormal Investigations. Tim writes paranormal books, and you'll find some of my articles in Tim's books. Phil, he likes to go on Google Maps and find ghosts. I kid you not.
Yeah.
They're out there.
UFOs. Especially UFO. It's been a lot of.
UFOs and cryptids. We do cryptids. In fact, if we were in Ohio with Eddie, we would be chasing a Melon head.
I've been to Shasta so many times; it's not even funny. But don't see much up there all the time.
I like the urban legends. I finally watched Mothman last night. I wish Steve were here because that was a terrible movie. With Richard Gere.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
I still don't understand the folklore behind it or why it even got a Hollywood movie because I'm from New Jersey originally. The Jersey Devil has been around since the 1700s. The backstory: there's a real place where he was born, Leeds Point. It's in Smithsville, New Jersey. Yeah. There's a hockey team named after him. He's literally the Bigfoot of the East Coast, and there's never been one decent movie made about him. And here there's a movie with Richard Gere in it about apparition shaped like a moth that supposedly caused a bridge to collapse in West Virginia. Nobody gives
remember
a shit
that movie now. I saw that in the 90s.
Yeah. Oh my God! I don't know. I watching it. Besides the fact that it was just a shitty movie, I felt insulted. I'm like, why doesn't anybody? I mean, you want to make a movie about the cryptids? That is the East Coast cryptid. There's no Blair Witch.
There was a movie I watched on VHS called The Jersey Devil. Do you remember that? It was like a found footage movie.
It was probably shit.
and Phil, they've done other movies on cryptids like Boggy Creek Monster.
Yeah, it's Boggy Creek.
And those, I love the 70s stuff. I do like the low budget 70s stuff. I have a special place in my heart for that stuff. But I mean, the fact that there was a big budget for the Mothman thing, and there's an actual Mothman museum. And I mean, I went to the New Jersey Devil's grave when I was a kid. We had field trips about this stuff. We were taught about it in school. I mean, there's pictures of it. He had a grave, a headstone, and a footstone. The footstone said he lives again. There's a I don't. Where are there any other professional sports teams in the United States named after a cryptid?
No.
Are there the Oregon Bigfoots that I don't know? You know, the Colorado Sasquatches? I never heard of that. I mean, it just seems like we're getting slighted. And I mean, and I love Traumaville and I love the Toxic Avenger, and that's all cool. But I mean, come on, you know, step it up. Give us something.
Eddie, are you going to do any more movies? Are you thinking about doing any more horror?
Yeah, I just did I just did a Google search, Phil, and it says there are 5 films in Wikipedia about the Jersey Devil. Are you familiar with all of them?
I saw one which was lackluster, and that I don't know about the other 4.
It says, okay, The Barons, 2012.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
No,
I saw that.
I haven't seen
Released
it.
as Jersey Devil in some territories.
Yeah.
Bloodlines, The Jersey Devil Curse, 2022. Carney, 2009.
I think I saw
Plus a
Carney.
few lower budget titles if you count every Tag B movie or documentary.
The Barons was pretty good. I kind of liked it. It sort of reminded me of what's the movie with those kids? It was like a reality show, and Blair Witch Project. It was sort of like that.
Blair Witch was huge, and that's not even a real thing. That one was actually something they made up. We had the Pineys growing up because I lived in the Pine Barrens, and then the Pineys were people like the Jackson Whites. You ever hear the Jackson Whites?
No.
Jackson Whites are a group of people outside of New York that lived in the woods that were a combination of prisoners, escaped slaves, and albinos, an unusually high population of albinos that lived in the forests out there. And if you got lost out there, you wouldn't be heard from again. And there's been a lot of stories over the years of like the old Route 70 that would go out through the Pine Barrens to Pennsylvania, where like you just didn't want to pull over on the side of the road. These Pineys would go out there and collect like roadkill to eat and things like that. And you just didn't want to go out there. There was a place called Sarcos where there was this old town where they used to mine gypsum. And we went out there 4-wheeling as kids. And I'm not joking, out there in the middle of this place where we went 4-wheeling, there's a ship. I don't mean a boat, I mean a ship in the middle of the woods. There's no lake there. There's a ship. And what happened was, I guess, somewhere around the late 1800s, early 1900s, they actually diverted enough water into the Pine Barrens because that's the largest source of fresh water in the East Coast. It's all cedar water. So it looks brown, but it's fresh. But they had a plan at one time to bring that water into New York because the drinking water in New York was completely trash and was making everybody sick. But they ended up not doing. But anyways, all that water, they created a lake back there, and they brought a ship into that area, and they used that ship with those water cannons to do strip mining for gypsum. And when they were done, they just left the ship out there, and the whole lake bed dried up. So there's this old rotting, like late 1800s, early 1900s, World War I era-ish rotting ship out in the middle of the Pine Barrens, as well as an old town that was, abandoned. It's just really eerie out there. One of my high school friends got drunk out there, and something happened to him. He got the crap kicked out of him, got 3 fingers cut off, and ended up like crawling out of the woods. And just not a place you want to get caught alone.
What is the Jersey Devil? What is it?
The New Jersey Devil, what happened was in the late 1700s, there's a town called Smithsville, and it was owned by a family. I shouldn't say owned, but a family of note there named Leeds was from England, and an old woman named Martha Leeds had 12 children. There's different stories, but one was that her husband was away and she got pregnant again with her 13th child. When the when she found that she was pregnant, she cursed the child, said something to the effect, "I wish this child were a devil," or "She wish she didn't have the child," tried to abort it, something to that effect. When she was going into labor, there was a great storm in the Pine Barrens, and Anyways, so she was giving birth, and her and the two midwives were in this, dank cabin or wherever they were at Leeds Point. And when the baby comes out, one of the midwives held the baby up by the firelight, and the baby transformed into a devil, killed the mother and the two midwives, and then flew out of the cabin, and has haunted the New Jersey Pine Barrens ever since, and killed many people in the Pine Barrens who wander off the beaten path, teenagers. It's almost like the guy with the hook story. If you go out there to make out in the woods and try to get laid, the guy with the hook's going to get you. Well, the Jersey Devil's going to get you, that type of thing. A lot of different stories about going out and making out in the van, and then, you hear the knock on the van, let me go out and check. Yeah, the Jersey Devil gets you. A lot of those type of stories. But there was also a craze in the 1930s where there were mass sightings of it everywhere, and it was all over the newspapers from New York, Pennsylvania, down to New Jersey. People don't realize the largest forest on the East Coast is the New Jersey Pine Barrens. It's just pines, and it's really eerie because it's almost like a sand bottom, and these massive 100-foot tall pine trees that grow in it that don't have much of a root structure, so they kind of fall over easily at some points. And when you get lost in there, you lose all sense of direction. It's a very creepy place. But that, along with the brown water, which is drinkable and clean, but it has a weird tint to it, just makes it an eerie environment. Bruce Springsteen wrote that song, Something in the Night. In the night. Anyways, so he mentions a place called Greasy Lake, and that's in the Pine Barrens in that song.
It's funny. He keeps talking about Through the Pines. I keep thinking in my head, Nirvana, my girl, my girl.
Yeah.
Where did you sleep last night?
Yeah. And what's kind of interesting about the Jersey Devil is in Puerto Rico, there's two types of chupacabras. The one in Texas looks like a coyote with mange, and then you got the Puerto Rican chupacabra that has little wings and sucks blood out of chickens and stuff like that. Well, one of the witnesses to the chupacabra in Puerto Rico, which is no way like the chupacabra from Texas, and they said the very first thing came out of their mouth is it reminded them of the Jersey Devil, because this one had like a goat's face and little wings.
That Derry, Welcome to Derry, the TV show Derry, they had a baby flying around with wings. I wonder if that's where they got that from, Phil.
I wouldn't be surprised. There was an old tavern that had a painting of the New Jersey Devil of it, and that tavern burnt down. The only thing that survived in the whole fire was the painting itself. Even the frame burned, but the picture survived. There's all sorts of eerie little weird stories about the Jersey Devil that we grew up with, about that kind of thing. So everybody who grew up in New Jersey is kind of familiar with that.
Eddie, that's going to be your next movie.
I love telling those stories. Like my grandfather used to tell us all sorts of stories like that. And we used to go canoeing through the Pine Barrens, through the creeks in the Pine Barrens. And it is a beautiful environment, but it is kind of eerie out there too. And the Pineys are a real thing. There are people that live out there off grid.
Now, is that because like here in Ohio, we have, like you said, we had the Melon heads, and it also goes like up into Michigan. I think
Michigan, Connecticut.
Yes, Connecticut. Yeah, I should know this. I did research. But like someone out like in Sedona or like out in Denver, they're not going to know who the Melon heads are. As far as the Jersey Devil, is it like this North Coast thing, East Coast? Like how many states?
Whole state knows about the Jersey Devil. It's
just Jersey though, or New York, or anything about Maine, Connecticut.
I'd say everybody from the tri-state area pretty much knows about it, because everybody vacations to the Jersey Shore. You see everybody from Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, and the weekends in the summertime, they all go down to the Jersey Shore for vacations. And like I said, in the 1930s, there was that craze where there were these sightings. And I've even seen old newspaper clippings of it where they had, here's the footprint of the New Jersey Devil, and you see a New Jersey state trooper holding up this footprint of, what looks like a giant mountain lion footprint or something like that. Or, we saw glowing embers in the forest, and, it went over there and the devil was gone or something like that. Somebody was on a train going through, and they saw it fly up. A woman saw it on the roof of her house. There's been sightings for the last 200 plus years. There was also a story that the child may have been something wrong with it, not necessarily a devil, but a child they hid from society and wouldn't let, because of, Down syndrome or some type of deformity. And so they hid it from the town and kept it out in the woods, kind of thing. And just the elderly people took care of it, kind of thing. So there's several different, story, probably more than several. There's a lot of stories about it. I always thought it would have made a good one, like maybe an M. Night Shyamalan type thing, or somebody with some vision, to really do it some justice. I've heard it, it's the protector of the forest. That's a nice spin on it too, but I think it deserves a bit more. I think the Bigfoot thing deserves a better story. There's been so much schlock made about that, and some of it's fun. $6 Million Man was one of my favorites, but
Phil, you probably like Harry and the Hendersons.
That's great. I loved Harry and the Hendersons.
We were talking about doing a Bigfoot. I'm not sure. There's so many on TUBI, and it's like, is there still a love for that monster, the Squatch?
There is. There always will be. My favorite is In Search Of, the Leonard Nimoy version of it. That's my favorite one still.
Hey, that's a great one. That's a great one.
Everybody, listen. We got 4 minutes. This is going to shut down. We're going to take a 10-minute break. And Eddie, you'll be sent a second link along with everybody else. And then click on that second link and we're back on the show again. So it's going to shut down in about 3 minutes. And then and just wait 10 minutes and I'll send you the second link, okay? Okay, cool.
Eddie, I got one for you, Eddie. I got one for you, Eddie. Everybody's tripping. They're confused. They don't know if demons are aliens or aliens are demons. Some people are separate on both of them or together. But there could be a horror movie where you can really play on that and really take it to them about that demon alien thing. People are scared of that shit. So
I know.
Just a thought about it. Yeah. People don't know what to call it. They're like, well, I called Jesus' name and then they say that the alien stops. So some people on that school of thought, some people are like, well, there really is. And then some people just don't know, but it's a lot of,
Do you remember back in 1997? Do you remember this? I don't know if you guys, I think they called it the Arizona Lights. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah. Phoenix Lights. The Phoenix Lights.
Absolutely.
My brother was living in Phoenix when that happened.
Well, I think I was in the Denny's parking lot going to meet this girl, waiting for her, and I saw the lights come over my head. I remember seeing them, and they were like gold. It looked like a big stealth bomber. You know what I mean? I thought it was military. And they had like the gold lights on it. I remember seeing that thing. I remember like calling my dad. I'm like, Dad, I just saw a UFO. And he's like, you're full of shit. You're lying to me. And then the news came on that night, and they were talking about the lights they were here though. But they also, I don't know why they called it the Phoenix, but people saw them here in Ohio, and I was one of them.
Oh yeah, Phoenix Light. Because it actually went over Phoenix and it hovered at Phoenix.
It makes you wonder, was it military? Because it looked like, but then again, I saw it, man. Like I saw the white, the gold lights. It kind of looked like what the stealth birds look like now, like that Raider bomber they have. You know what I mean? Yeah, it looked like that. But this is what, 97? How many years ago? That's 30 years ago.
Yeah,
I doubt they had that then.
I see what you're saying.
All the people that saw the Phoenix Lights. I mean, my own brother was living in Phoenix at the time, and he stepped out in his balcony and he saw it.
Yeah.
Well, Eddie, the thing about it is,
what's that?
Oh no, go ahead.
No, it went really fast, but not fast enough where I couldn't see it. You know what I mean? But it did look alien, straight up. it did look alien. You know, I'm
It,
not
it
saying
felt
it
alien,
was.
huh? It
What
felt otherworldly, didn't it?
it did, it did. It felt otherworld. That's a beautiful way to describe it. Yes, it did.
You know, a lot. The thing about it is, I believe, even though you said you think just because it wasn't Phoenix, I've seen stuff where like you could see at Mount Shasta, and then the same thing at Joshua Tree, and you're like, wow, like what's the connection? I mean, exact like same type of. It's like a something different. You know, if you get them both to compare, you're like, wow. Well, I mean, it's not that you're seeing it at the same time, but I don't know how small the sky is or what center of point of center it is, but it's the same thing in two different areas. So I see how that could happen.
Yeah. You know, it makes you wonder if why are they hiding from us though? Do you know what are they? You
They
know what I
don't.
mean? Why? Why are they hiding from us?
They're
People tend to
so
worship that stuff.
I'm
yeah. They're
sorry.
so intelligent. They don't need to contact us. I mean, they're almost in control of the whole Earth, with underground bases and everything else. Yeah, it's just like us looking at it.
We're back.
All right, we're back in. I have to ask Eddie, what is the curse of Lilith Ratchet?
She's a poltergeist. She's nasty.
Oh, she's a poltergeist?
So, did you hear me?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Is she a poltergeist?
Yeah, I said she's a poltergeist. She's a nasty one.
Okay, okay. And this just came out?
No, that came out back in 2019.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
when did
Now,
And the horror website, Horror Society. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. It's a pretty big website, Horror Society. Like the top three, it's Dread Central, Fangoria, and Horror Society.
yeah.
And he really loved it. He gave it a 9 out of 10, which was very humbling. You know, it's like, oh my
Wow.
gosh, thank you. Yeah, because they're tough. They're tough, you know. He's reviewed some of my other stuff and he's given me like a 7 or an 8. But to get a 9, it was like, wow, it was pretty incredible.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
now,
Everybody
Eddie,
loves her.
if I want, okay, I'm pretty sure I've seen Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Um,
No, 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 that hasn't been shot yet.
okay, okay, then I saw a movie with those characters though.
I
Um,
hope not. I hope not.
Ah,
I don't know. Okay, so let's say tomorrow I want to see Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Where can I find that movie at?
In Alice in Wonderland, they're in that movie.
But I mean, where can I find the movie that you wrote?
Hasn't been shot yet, right?
there's been shot
Yeah,
here.
yeah. It's still a
PDR.
concept.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, how about the movies that have been shot, like Hellweek
Krampus.
and stuff like that?
Uh, I'm sorry.
Oh, let's say I want to see a movie like Hellweek, Mother Krampus 2, where can I find those?
Well, if you get them for free, all on TUBI. I
Oh,
always
on
tell
Tubi.
people go to Tubi. It's
Okay, okay.
free if you can deal with the ads, you know.
I love Tubi. That's my favorite channel.
It is
Yeah,
mine as well. Yeah.
yeah, I watch it too. Yeah.
I like it too because I get paid the most. They pay well. You know, they pay better than Roku. Amazon has really stuck
Wow.
it to us indie filmmakers. Yeah, Amazon used to
Yeah.
pay well, and then at
Yeah.
the time, I think Bezos' wife said, "Hey, we're overpaying all these indie filmmakers that help make Amazon Prime what it is. So we'll screw them and cut their like percentage down to like a nickel, you know?"
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's what they did.
Eddie, now
Oh,
if I made a movie and I wanted to get it on Tubi, what are the steps that I need to do to get my movie on Tubi?
Well, typically you need to go through a distributor.
Okay.
You know, usually you have to go through a distributor or like someone like an aggregator like Film Hub or Indie Rights.
Oh, okay.
Right now we're with ITN distribution, but we might be doing some things different in the future. I'm not sure yet. We're exploring.
Yeah. But so you have a name already. You can go to anybody and say, "Hey, I'm rebooting this, and would you like to be in on it?" They probably jump right on this shit anyway, because you already done such good work.
You do any acting, man? You'd be a good character.
Oh, he was on WKRP Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had me play. I played some punk kid from the Cincinnati projects over the Rhine. They had me come on the station, and I was talking about rapping and DJing. They were talking about DJing, professionally as a on the air personality, and like my character was supposed to have it mixed up, but I ended up they had me steal something, and they wanted me to play it like a redeemable character, but I was like, what? You got me stealing something? What, you thought I was slick? Like, what's going on, man? And they're like, no, no, no. They said, hold on. They said, that's a way for you to, you can pull this character off. So I had two other guys with me from where I grew up. And so I was trying to put them on, help them. So they had the way they wrote the script was it was cool. They didn't actually press charges. They, Les Nessman and Gordon Jump, they were talking about the big house and all this shit. And they decided, hey, you know what? Maybe they learned a lesson. We're not going to press charges. So then they let me be an intern. So that was like my introduction to the show, to come on. So
did you work with Pamela Anderson?
She wasn't when I came. She wasn't on any of our episodes, but she was always there. Lonnie Anderson.
Anderson.
Yeah, she was always there. And everybody was like, oh, but the one that everybody liked was Tawny Catania at the time. So, and she was really sweet. She had little dogs, have you come to her trailer, practice your lines. But yeah, Eddie probably knows about this stuff,
Tawny was on KRP?
Oh, yeah.
It was the reboot of WKRP in Cincinnati.
What year was that?
Like 92,
90s.
93. Mm-hmm.
I loved her. White Snake lady, right?
Yeah,
she was
exactly.
one of the nicest. Hey, she was one of the nicest people on there, Eddie. Like, I mean, seriously, like, she was just hands-on. She was going out with some guy from the California Angels at the time, some pitcher. But
she married him, didn't she?
Yeah.
Probably, I think so. At the time, they were married. They were just,
She died a couple years ago, right?
Right. It was sad.
Yeah,
Yeah. It was sad. Yeah, I remember just like, she's in real life, she was really cool.
Wow.
Sorry, I got a little Jack Russell pit bull dog. She's always wanting her toys, so I had to go get her toys for her.
When you deliver your movie to Tubi, does it have to be 4K or 1080? I mean, what format's it in?
Yeah, most of our stuff is now 4K. Let's see, Ratchet was our first one that was 4K, and then Sluagh Awakens, that's the Irish demon movie, that's 4K. Then we did Melon Heads, that's 4K, and then we did Byte, that's 4K, and then Yule Monsters. Our latest one is Yule Monster, and that's 4K. Yeah.
So are you shooting your own stuff now, or do you still hire cinematographers to do that?
No, I still hire my camera guy, Mick Kuntz. He's my DP and my editor. He's phenomenal.
Wow.
Still from movie one, still working with the same crew?
Oh, no. We've been with Mick now since Sluagh 2019. So he was at Sluagh. He did Sluagh, Melons, Byte, and then Yule Monster. Did I miss one? Sluagh.
Man, that's pretty. You've been doing a lot.
Yeah, he's
of
done the last four. Yeah.
Are you doing your editing? Are you doing your editing now, or because your first movie was shot? Was that shot on film?
Or no, it was on tapes. Remember those little tapes? Those little cassette tapes. Yeah.
Okay, but that was transferred to digital. So where was the editing done for that one?
For Hellweek with those tapes, yeah, we had 5 different editors. They all used Adobe. Yeah, because you transfer it into the
I've done that. So do you do any editing yourself?
I learned for a little while and then I stopped, and I wish I would have stuck to it because I was learning back in 12. And if I would have stuck to it, I'd be pretty amazing right now, all these years. And I didn't. I could just kick myself in the head,
Maybe
because
don't rule it out.
Do
AI
you
can
do
help
you,
you right
do you
now.
do you sit over their
really,
shoulders though? Do you sit over
I
your shoulder?
do.
Over you do?
I do. So it's like they're the hands by my eyes, like, hey, cut it here or cut. But Mick and I are
Yeah.
so tuned in a lot of times. Like he's already does the cut before I could get to him. Like, Mick, I was about to tell you a cut right there. It's like we're so synced in together. Like it's weird, man, how that happens, you know?
That's
So
beautiful.
when it comes to
What?
the music and everything, because I know when you're editing, a lot of times background noise, music, everything else, the sound and everything plays it's huge. So leading all that stuff in, I guess riding on his shoulder, you guys are probably like really in sync with or doing your transitions and everything else, right?
Yeah, yeah. And Mick is really good at speaking of AI, he uses AI to clean up the audio stuff that we would, you know, sweat
Used to
over
take
trying to
Yeah.
remove
forever.
a siren or a lawnmower. Mick has his AI program now, and he can take it out.
Wow,
You
nice.
Yeah.
Dang.
unbelievable what he can do.
I
It's
love it.
crazy. It's
So you
crazy.
guys you utilize, the thing I was gonna say for you, I just sent Phil and Paul an article today about how even CEOs like the CEO of Replit, he was saying, hey, look, man, I don't want a coder, somebody that knows how to program, because the vibe coding that we're using now, I like somebody that doesn't know coding because they're not going to know the limits. They're going to get it to perform in a way, because the whole thing with the LLMs is that they're trying to get them to do human reasoning and go beyond like what they're doing to get better results. So they're like, hey, give me a guy that just knows what the heck he likes. He knows that. And you can direct that AI to do some editing that it probably couldn't do on its own. Now they got things called prompts where you put in the exact wording, but even those I've noticed when the programmers give you prompts, they're too precise and it still bottlenecks it. So a person like you that's creative, has a vision, it's time for you now. It's not about programming and knowing the codes. It's about utilizing some of those coders, Eddie. They haven't even written code since November. These things are so good. Only thing they do is check the code and look because it's too good. So, you probably could get some editing done that like a year ago you couldn't even dream of doing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tools that have come out just in the past year are incredible, and Adobe constantly updates. Well, you can't own Adobe anymore. You used to be able to
Right.
just buy your Adobe
Right.
suite. Oh, here's $500 and you own it. No, 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 not anymore. Now it's a monthly thing, and but the upside is that every time there's a new tool, a new update, a new little thing, you get it and you get to play with it, and it's amazing. It's a little bit behind with some of the AI
good, good.
stuff that these other sites that you need invitations to use can do. So you find yourself spending money on that stuff
Yeah,
and then
that
importing
part.
it into Adobe and bringing it in as a
Yeah,
finished shot and then trying to do those things. But really, you're not replacing the human mind. You still have to have the idea. You still have to come up with something. And then, like I said earlier in the podcast, it's the most important thing is like, do you know how you're going to market this? Do you know how you're going to, try to make money with this? Are you just doing it to be creative? I mean, that's fine if you got the time and the money to do those things. But if you don't have an idea as to where you're going to market this and try to, make some money off of it, it's really just a hobby.
And
Like,
that's what's happening with us. That's anything, because we're no longer in Walmart, we're no longer in Family Video. Now, Melon Heads did really well. I was overwhelmed with the success of Melons. We sold out 2 theaters back to back, which has never been done here in Ohio. And I'm not flexing. I'm
wow.
just saying, the movie before, we couldn't give away tickets for the Sluagh Awakens. I think we
Yeah,
sold 50 tickets out of and the room was 400 seats. It was embarrassing. I wanted to crawl underneath the seat,
wow.
and hide my head because it was so embarrassing. And then Melons comes and like we're sold out, man. They actually had to open up a third theater. We sold out 400 seats, sold out 220 seats, and they actually
Dang.
had to open a third just for the carryover of like 30 more people. So like, it's never been done. So we cleaned up on that. And then we did it again a couple weeks later. We sold out 2 theaters, So that was tremendous. but now it's streaming, and we'll see how we do streaming because that was a Cleveland legend. You know, that's why I was asking you, Phil, about the Jersey
Yeah.
thing. You know, it's a very the Melon Heads is very big here, and the legend's been dying out because I remember it back in the late '80s, and I feel like the legend's been kind of like dwindling with the younger generation, and that's why I wanted to kind of resurrect that legend again and let people know, hey, they're still here. You know what I mean? Don't
which
forget
is
about
awesome.
that.
That's
You know?
beautiful.
Which is That's awesome that you're doing that. Thank God somebody is passing on those stories and passing it down to another generation. Shame on their parents for not telling them those stories. I think that's one of the great things that grandparents and parents should do is keep those stories alive. Thank you for doing that.
And it was great because then I ended up on the TV. I was on Channel 3 twice, and then I was on Channel 5 twice, and then Channel 19. And that was great because every time I went on the TV, the theater would call me, Eddie, we got to open up another theater. We just sold out. You know,
Nice.
it's crazy how much television can really, the masses that it reaches, you
Yeah.
don't realize. You know what I mean?
What about
What
film
are you gonna do?
festivals? Oh,
What are you
sorry, go
gonna
ahead,
do, Eddie?
Teddy.
No. Eddie, what are you gonna do when one day like you're talking to us or somebody interviewing and they take one of your things and they put it retrospect like on Netflix and you didn't even know? Because you know how they do that. They come back to this series a lot of times, and that's probably gonna happen to you. You're just making them. You're really prolific. I feel you might have one that while you're just working on something, next thing you know, it'll be like running on something like that. They'll say, "Hey, what about this? What do you know?" That doesn't that sound like a possibility for you?
Anything's possible, right? You can't, anything. Yeah, anything's possible. Hope springs eternal, right?
Yeah. Sorry about that, Phil. Sorry about that, Tim.
I was just wondering whether you get some film. Are there some film festivals you plan on entering and attending? Taking it out to California or to New York.
Yeah, we did. We actually won. Was Hollywood Horror Bloodfest. We actually won Best Sci-Fi Picture for Melonheads.
Awesome, awesome!
Yeah,
Congratulations.
Okay.
yeah. So
Nice.
that was great. It was the first time I ever won something. So 20 years doing this, and we finally won something.
Hey,
Congrats! That's great.
on those movie premieres where you said there was like 400 seats, only 50 people showed up. I went
Yeah.
to a movie premiere with Howard Nash, who produced PJ, A Journey of the Heart, which is like a love story, sad love story. Someone dies. And John Hurd was in it, Vincent Pastore, and Hallie Eisenberg. And John Hurd was so embarrassed because the seats weren't even filled up. I mean, I think something like 12 people showed up. And I flew all the way from Sacramento to Los Angeles to attend this premiere because he's the guy that was going to make a movie out of my character. And John Hurd actually went up on stage and said, "I don't know why I was in this fucked up movie." And I go, "Holy shit!" I know Howard Nash must have been embarrassed. Oh my God. That is embarrassing. You make a movie, you spend all that time on it, and it turns out to shit.
Yeah. See, we're making our stuff. The movie. I don't know if do you know about that one? The werewolf movie that we did. It's called Byte. And Jeff Miller produced that. He wrote the check for that one. And that was one of a higher end films that we did that one for 20K.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I remember seeing that title not too long ago, like going scrolling through on Kodi. They got a mass database. I think I remember seeing it. They have like a blonde and a white kind of gown on the front, sitting in a chair.
No.
Okay.
No. Let's see. And I really thought it would do better. It's struggling right now. It's really struggling to make money. I mean, it made its money back, but that's about it. It's not really doing the numbers he thought it would do because it's about an app. It's an app that you download on your phone, and then you order the blood, and the blood comes to your house, right?
Oh,
and
okay.
you take the blood to a graveyard under a full moon, right? So you're keeping the werewolf element, the full moon, and then you do the ritual. it gives you instructions, right? And then you drink the werewolf blood. And then it's supposed to turn you and it gives you werewolf powers. But nobody believes it. Everyone thinks it's just nonsense. Well,
That's kind of cool.
he drinks the blood, does the ritual under the full moon, and he ends up turning into a werewolf, So it was kind of a new spin on lycanthrope, like
I like that, man.
instead of having to get bit, you just drink the blood, And yeah, I don't want to ruin the ending's really fun. I really love the ending to that movie because it sets it up for a sequel without spoiling it, Um,
Uh,
but it just I don't know why, man. It's just not doing what I thought it would. And it got great. Get Horror Society, he loved it. When he gave, Ratchet a 9 out of 10, he gave Byte a 9 out of 10. He loved it. He said it was the best werewolf movie so far of 2024, which
So
is quite an honor because everyone shits on werewolf. Independent, low budget werewolf movie.
American Werewolf in London. I love that one.
What's that?
American Werewolf in London.
Well, yeah.
There's
how many millions of dollars did that cost, Paul? That's
when I was writing the script, I was it's very influenced from American Werewolf and Ginger Snaps. It's kind of I took some
yeah.
But that's an interesting take. I've never heard a take like that, man. With the to get the powers and drink the blood like that. That actually is. I mean, you probably still could. You're going to be able to reboot that as well for sure. You're going to be able to come back to this some type of way because that's a hit right there. That idea.
how many days does it normally take you to shoot a movie?
Here, I'm trying to. Can you guys see? That's the artwork.
Oh wow!
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
That's
Oh,
nice.
BYTE. All right.
Cool. BYT. Okay, I thought BIT.
That's not AI generated.
Get it? It's byte, a terabyte, like a byte.
Terabyte,
Yeah, get it. Byte. Yeah, terabyte.
Yeah.
Petabyte.
Yeah. And that's the review from Horror Society. Yeah. He didn't do a lot of promoting though. Like, circling around to the promotion, he really did, and he did a few things. And then I just ran a big full page ad, cost me $300 in Scream magazine. It's a full page ad. That's a British horror magazine.
Yeah, Scream magazine. I know that.
Yeah, so I've been running ads in there. Whenever I run an ad in there, it seems to get a pop on the streaming. And we've been doing some Facebook ads. I don't know. Do you guys know anyone that markets these kind of films?
Oh yeah. In fact, on this show, we had the publisher of Phenomena magazine, and he does all kinds of movie reviews.
Maybe I could get in touch with them because that would probably help.
You know what, Eddie? I hate to sound redundant.
Yeah.
I hate to sound redundant, Eddie, but you know what? If you went to ChatGPT right now and you said, how could I leverage it? If you told it your name, it would already know your movies. It would know everything about you. It'll give you like a 8-step bulletproof plan where you'll be like, oh my God, I wasn't even thinking that shit is ridiculous. Hey, try it and see. You'll be like, you know what? And I mean, it sounds crazy, but I mean, you can always mix and match if it's not something you can use. But pretty much for anything when you ask it something like that instead of ridiculous stuff, if you ask it something like that, it reads like a book. We were talking about that the other week. It reads a 300-page book in like 4 seconds. So you ask it a question about Eddie and all your filming, and you'll say, hey, and it'll tell you, hey, since you already have a known name, you have a heck of a hella start. So it starts going exponentially. So I would try it, man.
I did do this. I did ask it something about me. I forget what it was. And it said, well, yeah, you sold out the theaters and you had this, and this, and that thing. I'm like, oh my God, you ain't lying, man. You're right, Yeah.
Man. And it knows more now because they're up to like ChatGPT is 5.5. That's an IQ of like 800 or something like that. By the time it gets to 6, that's a 1500 IQ. You think that it doesn't know how to like leverage all these client bases? Some people are using different agents and they're trying to charge you and get you to do all this other stuff. But I mean, ChatGPT 5.0. I mean, I asked for my friend had sugars that were like up and down, and she was like, hey, it's 300 in the morning. It was 300 at night, and it was 200 in the morning. I took my medicine and blah, blah, blah. We didn't know anything about the Don hormones, or we didn't know anything about spiking, the order in which you would eat the food, different things. It just told us stuff and it helped, like, whatever you can use it for, it just seems like.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
And
I've been
Eddie,
only messing with it about a year, and I've seen it growing like crazy
Oh,
lately. Yeah.
and
Someone said
Eddie,
my name. Yeah.
yeah, Eddie, remind me later on. Send me like a little message to give you the information to Alan. He's the publisher of Dark Side Magazine, and we interviewed him on this show. And he has a beautiful magazine out of England, and he reviews
yeah.
all types of movies. Just say you know me, and he'll put your ad in there.
He's a heavyweight.
Okay.
Yeah,
Appreciate
He
that.
talked
Thank
about
you.
Fangoria. He talked about Fangoria a lot. He knows his stuff about all that. He was really not, man. That guy's a heavyweight.
yeah. Fangoria. I've actually had a couple letters published in Fangoria.
Okay. You know, I have a friend that does comics. The lady Victoria Varden. I got to give a shout out to her and Tony. Tony is her husband. He did the artwork for the original Melon Head poster, and he's actually an artist. And he does comics. He does storyboards and comics. I don't know if you'd ever be interested in turning your character in a comic.
Oh no, we did. I have a comic book on this character, and also too on this show we interview all kinds of comic book creators.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello.
Tim, what do you? Tim's been quiet. What does Tim do?
I know. Tim's quiet. We've been talking too much.
Well, no, I've just been, you were talking about Melonhead and filling the theaters. Now, out of all of the movies that you made, was there one or several, whatever, that after you were finished with them, you thought, oh, this is terrible. This isn't going to go anywhere, but ended up being a lot more popular than you thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Just one, you would say?
Oh
out of all of them?
you can give me a couple of examples.
Mother Krampus Part 2. It was supposed to be called The Naughty List, but they changed it to Mother Krampus, just to catch the wave, because that the Krampus thing was hitting like the late teens, 18, 19, 20. So he renamed it Mother Krampus because he said Naughty List sounded like a porno, which I mean, I kind of see it, kind of. And he renamed it Krampus, which is really, on his part, was brilliant because, we made the list of the top 10 Krampus movies, and we're number 3. And I didn't think that's one of them, Tim, that I didn't think was going to do it. We shot the thing for under $1,000. Honestly,
No way.
Everybody did it for free because they just wanted, it was something to do. We were bored. It was winter, and we all wanted to do a Christmas horror movie, and like we did it for under $1,000. It was crazy. Yeah. And the thing grossed 70,000. It's made $70,000.
Wow.
Krampus, I know that name. That name is well known out in the movie, like the little movies you watch.
Yeah, there's a lot of Krampus movies, but we're out of the top 10. That one was number 3, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me! It was
Wow. Well, that's the thing about making movies, though, and books as well. But movies, I know that. I mean, you never can tell. You think you've got one that's going to be a winner, and then like Paul was talking about, nobody shows up to see it, and then there are others that you're just like, why is this one so popular?
That's like Hellweek. Hellweek, they hated it because the original concept was I wanted to take American Pie, because we did that in 2005. So there that feeling in the air was still like the American Pie kind of stuff. So I wanted to take a comedy, a college fraternity movie, and then turn it the warehouse at the midpoint, then it flips the script and it becomes a horror movie. It became Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So, and all the reviews kept saying, this is horrible. It's American Pie meets Chainsaw. And I'm like, yes, the idea. But back then in 2005, they weren't feeling it. Oddly, fast forward to now, as like a cult following, and they love it. It's so weird, man. They love Hellweek now, but they hated it 20 ago. Isn't that strange?
It was really strange is like Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You can tell the very first one was cheaply done, but then boom, it's a cult classic. And then all the sequels came, all the money came. Toby Hopper was a big name because he made Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I mean, it's amazing.
To me, that is still the greatest one of all of them.
It is. It is the best one.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Nothing can stack up against that. Like that sounds it makes that.
Oh yeah,
That screen door.
Yeah.
Or even that one guy. Okay, they're in the kitchen and they're in the living room. They're eating dinner, and he's looking at the camera and he's got that face and he's making fun of that girl.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god, I can imagine.
The hitchhiker goes, "I got an idea. Let's let Grandpa do it. He always said Grandpa was the best. Grandpa was the best killer. He was the best."
Hit her, Grandpa. Hit her, Grandpa.
Yeah, that will stand the test of time. I think it's one of the greatest horror movies of all time, honestly.
Oh yeah, it made chainsaws popular. I mean, look at all the horror movies. You got Ash and the Evil Dead. Ash has the chainsaw hooked to his arm.
Have you seen the Ed Gein series?
Oh
yeah, my gosh.
Yes.
I started watching it, and when he kills his brother, when he hits him in the head, and he goes, "I got you," I lost it. I'm like,
but did you watch the whole series?
No, I got sick. I almost threw up when he started banging the corpse.
All right, you have to watch at least episodes 7 and 8 because
I think I got the 3.
Because episode
maybe?
7, it's either episode 7 or episode 8. I think that they start to show behind the scenes. They bring you into some of the murders that he's doing that are eerily similar to these movies like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and all of a sudden it transforms and you're behind the scenes of a scene in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. One of those scenes is that scene with Grandpa trying to make Grandpa kill the girl, only it was him trying to make his mother kill some girl. And and they transitioned there. They did another one and it was either 6, 7, or 8 episode where they did the Silence of the Lambs, and where the would you fuck me, I'd fuck me thing, with the woman's suit, and it's just holy shit. I did, I thought I was over the serial killer thing, but I have to admit that series really did a hell of a job, and Henry Winkler's son produced that. I was really impressed with it.
Hey Phil, also too, Ed Gein was the inspiration to 3 horror movies. Can you guys guess what 3 horror movies they were?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I just named the other one. What was it?
Psycho.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Well, they show that too. They show the behind the scenes of Psycho.
Oh my god! Yeah. Ed Gein, man, was the inspiration of 3 major horror movies.
They also tie in what's his name, the Bundy, the Ted Bundy. Oh, and Richard Speck.
Oh,
the Richard Speck scene is really fucked up. Oh my god, that's
See.
Oh, that guy was horrible.
Phil, I got to the version where the series when Toby's a little kid and they are at the dinner table, and then they show him grown up, and they were showing Chainsaw.
Oh,
I think that's how far deep as I got. And he's in the line. He visualizes cutting people up with the chainsaw. That's about. But then he started banging the corpse, and I just said, "Oh, I can't."
Oh no!
Yeah, I know I can't either.
Oh no!
Oh
shit!
I have to admit, when I watched the whole thing, I'm like, I thought I didn't think they could do anything more than they've already done with serial killer movies. They did. They've gone. Wow. Just they brought Eva Braun into it. It's just amazing how far they went with 8 episodes.
Was that the lady in the book that kind of turned him on? That creepy German lady in the book that Was she real? Did she
Yeah,
really
yeah,
exist?
she was the bitch of Buchenwald. She was the wife of a commandant of one of the concentration camps who really got off on torturing some of the people in the internment camps and collected the skin lamps and things like that. She was a real person. She was put on
Did she?
trial at Nuremberg, and she wasn't executed though, I don't think.
So she did do what they kind of claimed.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She was a real person.
Wow.
So she's sort of like Lady Bathory.
Yeah, although there's arguments to say whether later Bathory was a real thing or not, or did what she was, supposedly did. But yeah, we know the Bishop Buchenwald was a real thing.
Well, Lady Bathory supposedly killed 300 virgins and bathed in their blood, so she
Yeah, to
could
stay
be
young.
immortal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, you guys, listen. We got 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Man, Eddie, we could probably do 3 hours. I mean, God, you guys got me all hyped up.
Yeah,
Anyway,
great
Getting
episode.
back.
Thanks, Ed.
yeah,
Gotta get him back
Eddie.
on it.
So how can people contact you?
Well, there's the Facebook page. It's my name, Eddie Lengyel, right? And then I have an Instagram. It's Fright Tech Pictures. And then I also have another Instagram, Eddie Fright. And then I have a TikTok, Fright Tech Pictures.
Oh my God. And you know something? If I was at Phil's house and he was watching these serial killer movies, I would probably try to change his channel and put on Netflix Trolls or Smurf or maybe Smurfs.
That's what my wife tries to do, but she hasn't been successful yet.
Hey, Phil, are you on Facebook?
Yeah, yes, I am.
Yeah, I'll hook you up with him. And then also too, he watches ID Discovery.
And what about Soul Brother? Are you on there too?
Yeah, I'm under Zandine. I'm gonna send it to you. I got a weird name.
And
Okay.
Tim?
And then is Tim on there
yeah.
too?
Yep.
I'd like to connect with all you guys,
Oh,
Heck
thank
yeah.
you. Thank you.
Man,
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
sure you have me rolling, Eddie.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys can watch my films and let me know what you think,
Oh, I'm going to watch Melon Heads,
I'm
especially.
gonna do that.
I'm
That's
probably going to look at
mandatory.
that tonight. If I can
Yeah, that's
find it.
mandatory.
Oh,
It's on TUBI. I'll be watching it tonight.
Oh yeah,
You
yeah.
heard it required reading. That's required watching for us. Watch, Eddie.
Now, Melon Heads, we did that for $5,000. We did that for $5,000.
Wow.
Can't
And there
believe
was-
that.
I
It was
can't
me,
wait to
Mick,
watch
and-
that.
That's
And
crazy.
then- And it came out, I think, okay, for $5,000. I mean, I was pretty impressed. I was like, okay, what can you say for $5,000? It was a labor of love. Everybody really, really hard, So
I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah.
Eddie, we're gonna
Yeah.
have to get you back on again.
yeah, I'd love
Absolutely.
to, man.
Okay.
That'd be great.
Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Yeah, it was so much fun. It was so
Stop
much
talking. Let him talk, man.